gratitude, you know, like I'm gratitude that I'm in a room when I'm not getting jumped.
That's great.
You had to be a warrior to keep your shoes back then.
And I remember you telling me that the LA County sheriffs were just as sadistic as some of the gangbangers.
10 times worse.
The LAPD, FBI, DEA, and other law enforcement agencies announced today that they've taken down dozens of members of the notorious white supremacist gang, the Peckerwoods. The gang is based out of the San Fernando Valley. 29 federal arrest warrants were served this morning. 68 members of the gang were indicted on charges ranging from gun violations to identity theft.
It appears, however, that the business of hate was not enough for them. Their criminal activity took on different forms. Driven by greed, as alleged today, they engaged in drug distribution, multiple fraud schemes, and firearms offenses.
42 of the 68 gang members indicted are now in custody. The remaining 26 are fugitives. The Peckerwoods, according to federal law enforcement, have aligned themselves with the Aryan Brotherhood and Mexican Mafia prison gangs.
What we wanted to do through this investigation was neutralize this threat as quickly as possible. So as I said, we're not going to wait around for a tragedy to occur. We're going to take action right away. And in order to do that, we use every tool in our federal toolbox to address that. And that's what we've done today.
The San Fernando Valley, known locally as the Valley, is an urbanized valley in Los Angeles County, California. And the Peckerwoods wanted to run this thing, and at times they do. It is also an area riddled with drugs. The feds had their eyes on the Peckerwoods, originally locking in on who some would call Mama, Patricia Haviland. She was into getting money and has been doing it for a long time. When the feds swooped in, Mama was at the top of the indictment. Some were thinking it was an episode out of Animal Kingdom, but this was real life shit right here, the Cali way. The feds wanted Mama and the Peckerwoods off of the street. But who are the Peckerwoods? The name Peckerwoods was originally a derogatory term for white people, developed in the prison system that has since been adopted by white supremacist groups themselves. Presently, a Peckerwood or a wood is what a white inmate is known as in prison. Peckerwoods take pride in being a wood and no longer consider the term to be derogatory. Peckerwoods used the symbol of a woodpecker to represent their Peckerwood status. In the recent indictment, the feds would say that unindicted co-conspirators, like people like Number 3, is one of the founding members of SFV. He is presently housed in federal custody at FCI Florence. SFV members often refer to the SFV, or the San Fernando Valley, as the family or the car, and refer to fellow SFV members as brothers. The leaders of SFV criminal enterprise are referred to as the key holders, or having the keys to the car, according to the feds. These leaders have ultimate authority in all San Fernando Valley matters. Female Peckerwoods are also known as Featherwoods. The most common symbol for Featherwoods is simply the wood featherwood, or an image of a feather. Female Peckerwoods refer to themselves as Featherwoods in internet messages and memes. The letters SFV are the most popular tattoo by SFV Peckerwoods, as well as the 818 area code. The name variation Peckerwood Gangsters, PWG, is often attached or identified with in relation to SFV Peckerwoods. In addition to SFV referring to the geographic location of the San Fernando Valley, SFV members also use the letters to refer to the acronym of searching for victims. SFV members often demonstrate their membership in SFV through tattoos with the SFV. According to the feds, the Peckerwoods support white nationalist ideas and use symbols like the swastika in '88. The white supremacist numerical code for Heil Hitler. SFV members often demonstrate their support for SFV's ideology through tattoos, clothing, and other items. The feds were locked in on the Peckerwoods with a plan to destroy them and to remove them from the San Fernando Valley area. Facebook would help destroy them and give the feds what they wanted. In the past decade, Facebook has become one of the most common methods that the San Fernando Valley members would use to communicate regarding their shared criminal activities. Most defendants and unindicted co-conspirators identified in this indictment that the feds have dropped have one or more personal Facebook profiles, according to the cops, and have used Facebook Messenger to engage in drug trafficking, fraud, witness intimidation, and or to plot details of future criminal activity and other co-conspirators. And as they did it, the feds were locked in, watching their every move. Additionally, San Fernando Valley members and associates established a private Facebook group on January 6, 2013, allowing the feds to get into their business in every way imaginable. The SFV Facebook page has remained active since that time. Members of this private Facebook group would use the San Fernando Valley Facebook page to affirm with others their active San Fernando Valley Peckerwood membership, including by sharing their SFV monikers and pictures of their SFV tattoos. And the cops, the feds sitting in offices, were taking note. They would update each other regarding law enforcement activities, including by sharing photographs of suspected undercover law enforcement officers that may be investigating San Fernando Valley members or engaged in enforcement activity in the San Fernando Valley. They would identify for each other individuals who are potentially cooperating with law enforcement to discuss whether violent retaliation is appropriate. And when they did that, the feds were all the way in. Provide updates to each other regarding the status of members and associates of the San Fernando Valley Peckerwoods and other criminal organizations who maintain positions of authority in and around the San Fernando Valley. With all this posted, the feds were writing their indictment and filling in the blanks. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Peckerwoods are a violent white supremacist gang that was busted and charged for trafficking deadly fentanyl and other drugs, committing robberies, and perpetuating financial fraud to fund both their criminal enterprise and that of the Aryan Brotherhood. When the big guy does the talking, the big guy, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, you know that things are real. The Peckerwoods' violent white supremacist ideology and wide-ranging criminal activity pose a grave menace to our community, said U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada for the Central District of California. By allegedly engaging in everything from drug trafficking to firearm offenses, to identify theft to COVID fraud, and through their alliance with a neo-Nazi prison gang, the Peckerwoods are a destructive force. In prosecuting members of the Peckerwoods criminal organization, our office is carrying out its mission to protect the public from the most dangerous threats. But why were the feds so locked in on the Peckerwoods? With all the Aryan Brotherhood indictments coming down and convictions happening on a regular basis, the cops would learn that the Peckerwoods were sending it in and taking care of business for the big guys, the AB. The indictment would lay it out. In the government's words, as a white supremacist gang, the San Fernando Valley at times takes orders from the Aryan Brotherhood, AB, or the Brand, the dominant white supremacist gang in California. The San Fernando Valley Peckerwoods also pays a proceed of their drug trafficking to the Aryan Brotherhood. Payments of such taxes to the AB confers protection from rival gang attacks and allows the SFV to continue drug dealing and other criminal activity within the Aryan Brother-controlled territory. These are the words of prosecutors. Getting money on the street was not the only business they were in. They were also in another lucrative business, according to the feds, and that money needed to be had. That was sending what they would call happy cards to people in prison in California and the federal prison system. In most cases, some of the Peckerwoods would be in charge of saturating greeting cards and legal letters in meth, heroin, and or fetty. A small piece of that card or a piece of paper the size of an eyelash would go for $5, and the person ingesting it would be higher than a kite. Some would smoke it, others could chew it. Happy cards was destroying the prison system and making others rich. The indictment has numerous unindicted co-conspirators, many that are sitting in prison, serving outrageous sentences. No sense to the feds to bring them back for another trial. Brianne Brewer would post a Facebook post by News 5 that said the cops were locked in on the San Fernando Valley Peckerwoods, and some of the unindicted homeboys would mock the post, telling the cops, "Catch me if you can," as if they were the gingerbread man. Literally laughed out loud, "Catch me if you can, motherfuckers. I stay riding dirty. Stay with a warrant. This is risky, and I'm a proud fucking member of SFV PWG. Can't stop me if you can't catch me. Fuck 'em. It's only a gang if you're not in it. It's my family and I fucking laugh at this because we aren't stopping shit. And they got a hell of a loss coming if they think they can stop us." And the feds had already been planning on stopping them. The mockery on Facebook only made them angry. On March 28, 2017, Brewer would post to the SFV Facebook page again. "Okay, so I know we're all SFV and always will be no matter what, or no matter where we go. But let's do a roll call. I am curious to where everyone has ended up. I am in Lancaster, California these days, but still rep SFV every chance I get." On March 28, 2017, in response to Brewer's post, a new defendant, Criswell, would post to the SFV Facebook page, "Center of the Universe, SFV." On June 4, 2017, Brewer would post to the SFV Facebook page again. "So let's see if we can get some participation. Where in the valley is everyone from?" If your town is not on here, add it and input your poll. Love my SFV heads. On June 4, 2017, more posts from Brewer. An unindicted co-conspirator, number 48, would post to the SFV Facebook page, stating, I grew up in Canoga Park, but my affiliation is Tujunga Sunland. That's who loves me the most. On June 7, 2017, just a few days later, in response to Defendant Brewer's post, Defendant Sims posted to the SFV Facebook page, born and raised in Tujunga. SFV Peckerwood, Tujunga DGAF. On July 9th, an unindicted co-conspirator that the police call number 30 posted to the SFV Facebook page, SFV Cowboy checking in. Homeboys, sound the fuck off. In time, everyone posting would become a defendant, defending themselves against the United States of America. But there was more to come. On July 9, 2017, in response to an unindicted co-conspirator 30's post, unindicted co-conspirator 48 posted to the SFV Facebook page, Woods cracking, brother. Risky, SFV, PWG. On May 12, 2020, Sims used a coded language in a Facebook message exchange, told defendant Chase Austin Flack, also known as Flack, that he was preparing to place an order with a drug source of supply. Why would anybody be talking about drugs on Facebook and how they're going to sell them and what the price is, or posting pictures of the actual weight? But in this indictment, the pictures show it all. On May 25, 2020, defendant Sims received from a drug customer using coded language in a Facebook message exchange an order for a quarter pound of meth. On June 16, 2020, in response to an unindicted co-conspirator, number 30's post, defendant Brewer posted to the SFV Facebook page again. Big bad Bree right here, my peeps. Hope y'all have a bitchin' ass day. And on June 16, 2020, Sims would post to the SFV page again, sending mines from the Rock, East Side Valley life to Junga, SFV Sicko, SFV Peckerwoods. On June 16, 2020, unindicted co-conspirator number 30 posted to the SFV Facebook page. Brothers and sisters, the fact I have to say this at all is bullshit. JJ is out bad. If any of you post anything in support of BLM, like JJ did, I will personally cut your fucking letters off you. SFV cowboy. Some of the Peckerwoods were posting pictures of themselves with guns and drugs. People like Zach Winters, aka Boogie, will post a picture of himself holding a big gun. And who was watching? You know who was watching. The feds. The feds were also monitoring Cashapp and Zelle. And if you were buying something and using these apps to get it, the cops had it. Pictures of everything that was for sale was all over Facebook. Guns, meth, GHB, and Fetty were being sent on Messenger and in the end, locking themselves into a case that could never be beat. Soon the feds would have a wiretap and be listening in when people were talking. The case was being painted, and again, there was no way out. In one call on July 30th, 2023, defendant Pitchy used coded language in a recorded telephone call. He would tell defendant Willis that an inmate at Pelican Bay State Prison would contact him to relay a message regarding riots at Pelican Bay that involved the whites and the Southerners stabbing each other, so that defendant Pitchy could learn the details regarding who started the conflict and share the information with other AB members who were in custody, including those with access to a contraband cellular telephone. But what about the YouTuber OG Badger? What will become of him? He's charged in count 2 with possessing with intent to distribute methamphetamine. Some of the counts charge over 50 grams of meth, and others charge 500 grams or more. The feds tie him into overacts throughout the indictment, but nothing specifically mentions him in actual transactions. But on September 26, 2024, the government moved to keep him in jail, telling the judge that he was a danger to the community and witnesses in the case. The judge would agree, setting a trial date for OG Badger in December 2024. What is Badger really facing? The paperwork says up to life. With priors, when the feds come in, it can get really bad. With one prior, the mandatory minimum becomes 15 years. With 2 priors, the mandatory is 25, based on the 500 or more grams of meth. But in the end, it all depends on what the feds actually have on Badger. Blood on the Razor Wire TV hopes for the best for OG Badger. And just for you, a warning, don't post things on Facebook. And be careful of what apps you think the feds can't see or listen in on. Because I'm here to tell you, they can listen on everything. From WhatsApp to Messenger, to Instagram, to Snapchat. Blood on the Razor Wire TV, bringing you nothing but the truth.